Alright, good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time it is, welcome back. So today I am going to be brewing this rather interesting looking kit from the guys over at Dark Rock Brewing. So you may have come across Dark Rock before. They're quite well known for doing all grain and part grain kits. They have a very good reputation for producing good quality kits and using really good sort of ingredients and creating sort of well-known recipes, so you can sort of, you get tribute to certain types of beer styles. So they do clones of different styles. So I was really interested to find out that they've now released a new range called the Session series, which is actually a full extract kit. So they brought out a whole series of different kits. There is a IPL, Indian Pale Lager, that sounds interesting. There's this West Coast Pale Ale amongst several others, and I think they're still bringing out new ones, kind of, as I record this video. So this one particularly caught my attention. West Coast Pale Ale is one of my favourite styles, so I thought it was a good place to start and see how these kits turn out. This particular one is a one-can kit. So it does require some extra fermentables. They recommend either brewing sugar or preferably one of their beer enhancer kits. So there's also several of these to match the style of beer. So this one happens to be pale ale, as it says on the kit. There's one for the lager, there's one for the amber ale, and so on. So I guess that the dried malt extract is slightly different in the kits. So you end up with kind of two boxes of stuff. In the main box, let's have a look inside to see what you get. So on the top, encouragingly, you get a really nice looking generous packet of hops, and according to the box they are Citra and Simcoe. So this is going to be for dry hopping the brew later on once it's finished fermenting. So dry hop pack, West Coast Pale Ale. You get a little vial of stuff that says Hop Boost on it, which according to the instructions you chuck in at the start, I think. You get a packet of yeast, Munton's Premium Gold Active Brewing Yeast, so I'm assuming that's a decent quality yeast. I've never used this one myself, but it looks interesting. Although 6 grams, I know I've moaned about that previously on other kits. Perhaps being a bit stingy, but I'm trusting these guys. They know what they're doing. If they put a 6 gram yeast packet in here, then it's going to be enough. And lastly, we have a tin, unmarked, of the extract. So that's what you get in that box. In the brew enhancer, on the top you get a packet of Harris Pure Brew, which I use in all my brews anyway, so that's a real bonus getting that. Yeah, you just chuck that in at the start with the yeast, add this sachet with the yeast and stir well for 1 minute to aerate the brew. So that is a kind of water treatment and yeast nutrient, so good to see that in the box. And of course you get a bag of powder, which according to the ingredients is dextrose and dried malt extract. So just a kind of standard beer enhancer. Alright, so it's got kind of all the bits and pieces that you'd expect in a premium extract kit, with the hops and so on. Interested to see that Hop Boost. I've never used that before, so, and I know you can buy this separately in a tub. I think it's under the Harris brand, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. And yeah, it's great to see a nice, generous packet of hops. Sometimes they look a bit stingy. Even on the one I've done most recently, a premium kit only came with 25 grams of hops. This looks well over 50. I don't know exactly how much it is, it doesn't say, but good packet. So I'm going to get this on the brew. It's going to be straightforward brew. I'm going to chuck this into the fermenter with some hot water. I think it's 3 litres of boiling water to the fermenter. I'm going to dissolve this into it, then add the can, the Harris Pure Brew and the yeast and the Hop Boost, get that going, probably leave it for about 10 days, and then come back to it, dry hop it and then bottle it. What I didn't mention at the start was the price of these kits. So The actual main kit is $15.99, and the brew enhancer was £6 pretty much. So, you know, just over 20 quid for 40 pints of what's hopefully going to turn out to be a lovely beer. So, without further ado, I'm going to get cracking with the brew, and I'll see you in a while. Okay, so I've sanitised my fermentation vessel with some no rinse sanitizer, just some Chemstem stuff. I'm about to add a kettle full of hot water, boiling hot water to this. I'm going to mix up the brew enhancer in here, stir it in, and then add the extract. So I'm just going to drop this beer enhancer, so it just comes in a bag. I'm going to drop that into the boiling hot water, pick up the bucket and give it a good swirl around. I find that's the best way to kind of drop this in without it clumping up. So I can't do that one-handed, so I'll be back in a sec. Next in, now I'm going to add the contents of the can into the fermenter. It's nice and runny because I've had it standing in a saucepan of boiling hot water for about 10 minutes. So it's poured out the can nicely. Just give that a rinse with some more hot water, just to make sure we get all the goodness out. Right, that's the beer enhancer and the kit can in there, mixed up with about 3 litres of boiling hot water. It's all nicely dissolved. The instructions now tell me to top this up with cold water to the 5-gallon mark, so that's 22.5 litres. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually using bottled water for this brew, just for convenience. So I'm just going to pour those in and come back when that's done. Everything's mixed in. I've added the cold water, bottled water. Just taken a temperature reading which is 20 degrees exactly, so perfect temperature for pitching the yeast. At this point the instructions tell me to add this little vial of hop boost. I have no idea what's in it, but that goes in now along with the yeast and the sachet of pure brew. So you notice they're a bit foamy because I've just dumped the tops in the sanitizer along with the scissors. So anything that's going to kind of come in contact with your brew, either directly or indirectly, I'd recommend you sanitize, just to make sure everything stays clean and you don't get an infection in your beer. So as long as you keep everything clean, everything's going to be fine and dandy. Right, welcome back. Got the beer. Dark Rock West Coast Pale Ale. So, as you can see, it's a beautiful golden colour, as we'd expect for a pale ale. I have to confess that I kind of bodged this up a bit because I've overcarbed it. So, for the first time ever, I've used carbonation drops, which I bought from Wilkinson's. On the packet, I'm sure it said put 2 in a bottle, which I did. And if you take the cap off one at room temperature, it'll just be Mount Vesuvius, and you'll end up with nothing. So I've had to chill them right down. You have to really work for these beers. Chill them right down, decant it into a jug. So a good tip for you if you do end up overcarbing anything, put it into a jug, let it settle down, and then pour it into the glass. So that's what I've got. Most of the fizz has gone out of it, but it's still pretty good. It smells absolutely fantastic from the Citra and the Simcoe. I think it's Simcoe hops that are in it. Tastes really good. For a 1-can kit with the brew enhancer, it's probably the best one I've done so far. Really nice. Just a shame I overcarved it, so I'm kicking myself a little bit about that, but you know, you can get around it, as I say, just have to decant it first. But it's a definite thumbs up for me. I would definitely do it again, and I would wholly recommend it. It's a lovely, lovely, just flavoursome and just a lovely ale. So if you're thinking about doing it, give it a go.